wa Jux ama hii familia ya Jux wanashindana wakizungumza ya kwamba Jux sio kwamba alikuwa hazalishi, ni alikuwa hajakuwa tayari.
Let's talk about her a little bit. So I don't know if she was sleeping, but she brought up the topic of Jux and his fatherhood, right? Him being a father for the first time, and the fact that he intentionally waited to become a father inside the marriage, and the fact that he talked about it. And I'm like, ma'am, when you are saying that they keep on talking about it, it's because they're being asked. They're not just sitting back and out of nowhere coming out with this information. By the way, they used to say this. No, it's because there were so many questions about JUMA Jux's and if he's able to be a father, and the fact that it happened so quick in their marriage. That's why that question kept on coming. Okay? And I think they've only talked about it, what? Two times? The first time was with Wasafi when Jux was clearing the air when he was being asked about it. The second time, Priscilla talked about it in Nigeria with Chude, right? And I understand why this lady kept on saying, oh, they keep on talking about it. No, ma'am. It's because they kept on asking him or her about it, okay? And the fact that you feel some type of a way about it, I'm like, what's your problem? Is it your story to tell or not? You know? She looked like one of the people who used to doubt, because based off of how she continued talking about, oh, all of his friends had babies but him, and the fact that he questioned if a man can really plan to have a baby. Let's listen to more, Kai. Let's listen to more, because I'm like, some people are not supposed to be on radio. Good gracious Lord. I know it doesn't pay that much, honey. That's why I turned one down, honey. That's a story for another time. But some people, they are not supposed to be on radio. God damn it. Information is very important. You're supposed to know your factual truth, because when you're going on a radio to speak, you're not a blogger, you are representing the entire thing. When that lawsuit is coming, it's not only coming towards you directly, but to the entire company, ma'am. Anyway, let's listen.
We speak. Mkewe pia naye Prisky. Priscilla yule. Ni Priscilla Priscilla Prisky. We, hii mitandao za kufanya kwa jina zuri wewe. Sawa.
Calm down, okay? Just calm down and say Prissy, okay? Prissy, not Prisky. Priscilla or Joe Mkambala, okay? Make sure to add in Mkambala in there, okay? It's Prissy. Are we together? You can't be out here trash talking about somebody and you can't even pronounce their name, ma'am. Can we start there? Anyway, let's continue.
She married Jux, one of the men she ever took serious, na akamuoa na anafurahi kwamba amejaliwa mwana. Ila akasisitiza kwamba anataka tuambie watu ya kwamba mumewe anaweza, mumewe azalisha, licha kwamba Watanzania walikuwa wanaona kwamba labda hazalishi. Ila anasema mume wake alikuwa anangoja the right time. Hata nilikuwa najiuliza kumbe pia wanaume nanyi huwaga mnangoja the right time.
It was the last sentence for me. What do you mean even men do wait for the right time? Of course, it's something that is not a normal thing, but it's something that is possible. Okay, ma'am. There is something called reversible vasectomy that some men do all the time. Something that you can reverse later on when you're ready to have babies, because you can't trust this out here. You can't trust them because they are out here trying to make everybody their baby daddy. They are out here trying to secure their future by trapping you with that child support. Okay? And I'm not saying that that is what Jux did, but this woman, she went ahead and said that Prissy did another interview talking about, Prissy was asked about the interview that her husband did. And her husband talking about that situation is because he was asked about it on an interview, and that was the first time he was addressing it. So I don't understand what is paining her when Priscilla has been asked about this situation and she's explaining. I don't get it. And if you haven't met somebody, okay, who proudly wasn't ready to have a baby until he was married like me, because me, to be honest, even me, I haven't met or seen someone, a man, not a woman, okay? A man, not women. We can also be able to wait until marriage if we really want to. It's just that sometimes I don't know what happened. But anyway, so for men, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find a man who can say that is what they want and actually do it after marriage, being very clear from the beginning that is what they want, despite their friends having kids, despite the industry giving them pressure. And that is Jukes, okay? And that is something that haven't been seen with any other artist before here in East Africa. And that's why it was news. It was news, ma'am. Okay?
Kim, tumeona wenzake hata wale ambao ni marafiki zake wa karibu, wote wamebwaga mahali, yani wakienda huko nazumwa wake yule. Lakini Jukes is one of the artists ambaye tangu kuingia kwenye fame hajakuwa akitajwa kwa masuala kama hayo. Sasa I don't know, but for me kushinda wakizungumzia hili swala ya kwamba kwa sababu alikuwa anangojea the right time ya kwamba ilikuwa hajapata the right person and all that. I don't know, but
in the end I tried to listen and to know what her problem was with the interview. So she concluded, okay, that the real reason why she doesn't want Jukes and Prissy to talk about this situation, even though they don't just talk about it, honey, they're being asked on interview to talk about it, is because the more they talk about it, the more they create doubt, the more people will start, saying, is it necessary? And I'm like, it is their story to tell. Okay? They had to talk about it and give their fans correct information because there was already information flying out there that it was a surrogacy, or not surrogacy, it was what do we call it? IVF. Okay? Those were the information which were flying there. So what's wrong with Juma Jukes to come out and say that no? I knew very well that I was capable of becoming a daddy. I just wanted to meet the right person before having it with. Of course, we saw it happening before our eyes. And he said that fortunately, when he met the right person, it happened so fast. I don't see anything wrong with what he did. Besides her trying to make it seem like they've talked about it and they keep talking about it. When have they kept talking about it? The first time was when Jukes talked about it on Wasafi. Okay, before that, we've never heard them talking about it. The second time was when Priscilla talked about it in Nigerian blogs, and because they ask her, she's a celebrity there in Nigeria. Jukes is a celebrity here in TZ, and they owe each other's country their own truths. So, ma'am, go and shit if your belly is hurting you so much.